This car has the last engine designed by Triumph. Fascinating stories to go through right here, and we get to find out what not a V8 SD1 sounds like. I'm really looking forward to this. My name's Ian Seabrook, this is HubNut, and we are all about celebrating the cars that everyone else doesn't really give a monkey's about. Now, the Rover SD1 must be top of the list, really. These cars were panned by everyone. Top Gear famously showed doors falling off. Oh, look how terrible the build quality is. Blah, 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 yawn, yawn, yawn. But we want to focus on the positives here. And for a start, just look at it. The styling is by David Bache, who worked at Rover's design office. He also did the preceding Rover P6. But for the SD1, which was engineered by Spen King, who also did the P6. P6 was a real tour de force. So we're going to have a turbine engine. It got this weird bell crank front suspension, the Dion rear, super complex, super expensive. The SD1 was built during the struggle that became the British Leyland years, when Rover found itself mishmashed up with Triumph and Jaguar and Austin and Morris. All these companies came together. And the one thing they all had in common was none of them had any money. So the development of the SD1 had to be much more simple. So Spen King set about giving it McPherson strut front suspension. Nice, safe formula, everyone knows how it works. At the rear, we've actually got a live axle again, not the Dion complexity of the P6 or a fancy independent setup. No, we just got a simple beam axle, very well located with coil springs. So Spen King managed to make it just as good to drive, but with none of the complexity of the P6. David Bache was obviously inspired by the Ferrari Daytona. This is a Series 2, which has the fully orange indicator, so this is a 1980s car. But I mean, the best bit really is under the bonnet. Under this enormous bonnet, we find the Triumph 6-cylinder engine. Not quite what you think it is. And that's because this is the last Triumph designed engine. It was developed at a time where all the companies were still independent within British Leyland, lots of infighting. But Triumph developed the gearbox, not the automatic here, the manual gearbox, the LT77 5-speed, and the rear axle was also developed. It is what their strength was. And with their reputation riding high after the Triumph Sprint, the first car to really popularise multi-valve engines, 16-valve 4-cylinder, they were given the job of developing the 6-cylinder engine, so something to give a bit of an alternative to the Rover V8 that was the initial only option. And this is what they came up with. It is the PE166 here in 2.3 litre form, so very HubNut. We've got the smallest of the 6-cylinder engines allied to an automatic gearbox. Incredible. And this is it. It's a very clever engine. Engine access remarkably good. Look at the space, but look how restrictive that manifold is. There's a reason for that. And that reason is that this engine was too good. When they first built a 2.6 litre version, it produced 150 brake horsepower, which was only a few less than the V8. That couldn't be tolerated. So it was 136 brake horsepower for the 2.6, the 2.3 here, more like around 113, 118, that sort of ballpark. So a little bit less again, with economy in mind, but I suspect this drinks just as much as a V8 auto, in all honesty, because you're probably gonna have to put your foot down more. Certainly when I had a 4-cylinder Rover P6, it drank just as much as a V8. We've got twin carburetors, points distributor, LJK Setright, the famous automotive engineer and writer, not a fan of that. He would have preferred to see an electronic distributor. And then we've got a viscous fan on the front. It's a little bit sticky, but it does just about rotate without the engine. And a design award was given for the air intake, which automatically chooses whether to take heat from the exhaust manifold or from fresh air at the front of the car. So the car gets the right temperature of intake air. Fancy stuff, folks, fancy stuff. But this engine was not used in anything else. It was another classic case of a complete waste of time, developing a brand new engine to use in one car. And partly that was because cars changed and requirements differed, and obviously the replacement for this car had a transverse engine from Honda, so a straight 6 was never going to fit. But just a bit of a waste of time. Jaguar went off and developed the AJ 6 engine, a completely brand new big 6-cylinder engine, and there was kind of the starting point of one just here. There is space with this engine because it no longer had to fit the Triumph 2000s. It could extend itself into the longer SD1 engine bay. There's plenty of room around the cylinders. They could have bored these out and made them bigger. Missed opportunity? Jaguar engineers would certainly tell you not, but you can't help but wonder sometimes. Moving to the back end, and one of the key criticisms of the first generation SD1 has been addressed. We have a rear wiper, and the line of the rear window has been lowered to fit it in, so it goes straight through the glass. So opening it up, and big space down here, but quite a high lip. But then it wasn't really designed for going shopping. It's so you can chuck a few suitcases or briefcases into the back. Obviously the rear seat will fold down for a bit of extra space, and this can be removed. And look at the size of the straps, beefy. And here is your wiper motor bolted to the back. We've got the same lights as the previous generation. By the way, one of the design features I just loved is low bonnet line, and then this mischievous intake here which actually feeds air into the heating and ventilation system. The wipers sort of semi-concealed a bit. Yes, we've got aero blades, they came on the car, don't blame the current owner, but it's just such a very striking design. So that's the load space. Let's just take in the rear seat area. It's quite a nice wide opening. Look, even though it's an S, we seem to have got the wood. I think they were just starting to throw everything at the Series 2 just to make it as popular as possible. But all the brown velour in there. Let's hop aboard. Actually, velour it probably isn't, but the roof is a little too close to the head, unfortunately. It's a little... yeah, that's not ideal. It's not even sagging, which is very rare on one of these. We've got a centre armrest that pulls out just how I didn't expect it to. It actually goes up like that. So that's a bit of a surprise. No ski hatch. Those sort of things weren't really a thing at this time. But there we go. And like I say, this all folds down. We've got electric windows in the back as well. So there's lots of knee room, but headroom is definitely in rather short supply. Moving into the front, will the door fall off? Oh no, it actually doesn't. It's like they made it all up. And there we go, Rover kick plate, really nice on the way in. 4 electric window switches, there's your door handle to get back out. All the brownness going on. And this weird dashboard, because the idea was it would be quite easy to move it between left and right hand drive. So this is the same. You can sort of, you got electric mirrors even. You could easily swap it round, so the steering column comes through there on left hand drive. Examples, saves money. Didn't work, did it? We've got the radio mobile in here, cassette player, the Strangler's greatest hits, absolutely perfect. Heater controls. We got some very fancy clock controls here. There's your electronic clock. If I put the ignition on, it might even wake up.
To the living standard.
Oh no! Shush! The radio does work. So there we go. We can turn the fan off, I think. Where's the fan speed? That one. There we go. Only a 2-speed fan on an executive car. Is that electric aerial? Because it's a manual sunroof. You just literally move it yourself with your hand. And yes, I don't know what that is. Is that aerial? It doesn't seem to do anything at all. Blanking plug, hazard lights, proper indicator noises, interior light, which is already on because the door's open. Here's your gear selector with the markings down both sides, so you don't have to change that for left-hand drive either. Did they move the handbrake? The handbrake appears to be on the passenger side of the car. Interesting. You can move the sound back and forth. A little ashtray there, a little oddment tray. Does this open, or is it just for effect? We're not going to pull too hard in case the entire thing falls out, but nice clean dials ahead of us, so it's easy to see what's going on. And this enormous steering wheel, it's absolutely huge, and I don't think it needs to be. It has power steering. Notice it isn't circular either. Some of the legacy of the Series 1 and especially the Austin Allegro lives on with this not quite circular steering wheel, the same sort of stalks we would later see in the Mini Metro. But it's actually quite a nice place to sit. The seats are quite comfortable. We've got this full sunroof, as I showed you. We've got a glove box on this side, the latch of which isn't quite hooked up at the moment. You can just sort of hear it hanging down both sides. Very, very heavy. And the one this side, just like a P6, you get glove boxes both sides of the car. This one hides the bonnet release. So yeah, practical stuff. Let's start it up. No, okay, it's going to be one of those, is it? The old heritage problems. There we go. Got to have a bit of heritage somewhere, haven't you, folks? Yeah, there we go. That fan making a little noise, but there's our electronic clock. We can apparently set a stopwatch on it. All good fun. Little coin holder there. And we better get into the wiper test. Now, these are non-standard blades fitted by a previous owner, so this may be awful. Oh, the washing is certainly potent. Oh yeah. Look at this unswept area, and then we got a triangle of doom up here as well, which a longer blade would only make worse. I can't remember if SD1s always had a triangle of doom or not, but the wrong blade's certainly not helping there. If I spin you around to the back, we should be able to get some rear action on. The wash is... oh, there's the wash. And a decent wiping performance, that. Certainly much better than a Series 1 which had none. You can't really turn the wiper on. It's wash or not. And then you get your fog light switches, heated rear window. Panel adjustment there, so you can adjust the brightness of the dashboard. And just 2 pedals down here with my sexy sketchers. But let's get you in the mount. Go for a drive. Okay, get my seatbelt on. Same sort of stalks you had in a Discovery. That's progress for you. Into drive. Handbrake can go off. Lovely big steering wheel, and put your foot down and wait for something to happen. We are going uphill, to be fair, but I think it's the old Borg Warner 65 gearbox, so it's only a 3-speed unit. No torque converter lockup as far as I know. So as gearbox designs go, it's very, very much a 1970s gearbox. I think you could improve things drastically if you install the ZF HP22 4-speed non-electronic automatic gearbox. So could be just the job. I'll just wait for all the emergency vehicles, apparently. Obviously the Rover SD1, very popular as a police car. Ooh, I've only got enough torque to get a bit of wheel spin going on. There's going to be more wind noise because I got the sunroof open, I got the window open, but I think that's a good thing, isn't it? But it's certainly very good at being very smooth, and the road I was going to go down is closed. Okay, great. Won't go that way then. These are the challenges sometimes we find ourselves having on these tests. We're in top gear already. That was it. So its performance is not shameful, it's not woefully inadequate, but obviously being the 2.3, it is a little on the gentle side. We shall not harass the learner driver, because that would be a rude, horrible thing to do. We get enough of that on the driving lessons we're doing at the moment. People have no patience, literally none. But the SD1 really did manage to be better than the sum of its parts. Like I say, there was just no development money at all, but the initial launch of the SD1 back in 1976, I think it was hampered incredibly by union troubles, but also poor management ideas as well, like new ways of painting the car that didn't actually work. The paint didn't stay on the vehicle, which I don't know about you, but I consider that quite important for car paint, to actually stay on the car. This is peak British Leyland, really, when the workforce and the management were just at absolute loggerheads and nothing got done. It was just a shame, really, utter waste. I'd like to have taken both sides into a room and just say, you're not coming out until you agree to actually do something useful. Because people love to blame the unions for all the ills of Rover. They played their part for sure, but what gave the unions power was the management being spectacularly incompetent. You got people coming in from colleges and universities who knew nothing about running a car company, telling the people who were building the cars how they should be doing their jobs. It was never going to end well. But can I just say, we are stuck in horrible slow traffic here, and this is actually joyous. It's very, very smooth, very well mannered, very nicely behaved. That's a sign of things, isn't it? All these JQs and Amodas coming over from China now. We appear to find ourselves in a tunnel. So there's one thing to do, really, isn't it? I think it sounds really good. I like the sound of this engine very much. I think if anything, I think it suits the SD1 better than the V8. People go mad about the Vitesse, especially in twin plenum form, which makes no difference whatsoever for a road car point of view. That was just to homologate stuff for Tom Walkinshaw Racing, because of course the SD1 had great success in saloon car racing. So got my foot down now. I'm waiting for something to happen. It's trying. Oh my gosh. I'll do my window up. We're doing over 3,000 revs at 70 miles an hour. I'll just put it in fourth. Oh no, it hasn't got one. I mean, it's smooth, so you can't really hear it, especially with the sunroof open. Should we shut that as well? No, we're going to leave that there. So it's peaceful, but yeah, you are aware that engine is working quite hard. Automatic transmissions have come a long way. It's a bit slow and lethargic, but that's what they were. That's what the gearboxes were like back then. So yeah, it's buzzing along a bit, but very, very pleasant. Good visibility because of all these slim pillars. It's a very pleasant, very usable classic car. Just might not want to be bombing up and down too many motorways. So this one's got 66,000 miles on the clock. I think with the overall condition, I would believe that. I would say that's probably accurate. The wheel, it's just too big, and it's giving the steering it feels like there's a real vagueness around the dead ahead, but I don't think it actually has. I think it's just exaggerated by the sheer size of this steering wheel. It's all a bit much, really. So the SD1 finally petered out of production in 1986, 4 years after the Series 2s had been introduced. Want to know another really fun fact about the Rover SD1? Eventually, British Leyland got fed up with the militant workforce at Lode Lane in Solihull, where the SD1 had been built. So they moved production over to Cowley, the Oxford factory, where they had been making the Austin Maxi. So when they stopped production in the early 1980s, they moved SD1 production there. And it is said that the Cowley built SD1s are an awful lot better than the Solihull ones. So let's let that fight act out in the comments, shall we? Yeah, this is just a really pleasant drive, and it's just a reminder that the SD1 was close to greatness. I mean, that's a phrase that can sum up so much of the 1970s. But so many times they were so close to getting it right. But the SD1 really was very, very close. It got those dramatic looks, exciting engines, and you know, for a time there was a turbo diesel version. It was the quickest diesel in the UK. How's that for a title? Then the Citroen CX came along and ruined things. But with a VM Italian turbo diesel engine, it was actually quite quick. The ultimate poverty version, I've never driven one yet. If you've got one, do let me know. There was in the Series 2 version a 2 litre using the old O Series engine. I don't know what this truck's doing. I'm not even sure he knows. But that must be ultimate misery, the 2 litre SD1. Yeah, I mean, it's not brisk. It is not rapid at all, but she gets a move on well enough, and does it while making a nice noise. The V8s almost have a bit too much power. You've got to be a bit careful how you use it. This I like. I like this a lot. Go, go, go. Look at me having fun at 40 miles an hour. There's a chance to lean on it there and just remind yourself that they do handle very well. Simple suspension made to work well. Well, there we have it. It seems a perfect backdrop for the Rover SD1. And what a joyous car that is to drive. I didn't expect the 2.3 automatic to actually be so pleasant, but it's just lovely. As long as you're not in a tearing hurry, the perfect vehicle. So I hope you've enjoyed that. Don't forget you can head to the HubNut store if you want to buy some lovely merchandise. I shall see you in a future video. Farewell.